What's up, y'all? Mickey here, back with another episode of Doom Diaries. Today, I have my friend and rock star extraordinaire, Chloe Chaidez, here to talk about some AI nonsense. Chloe has been rocking out since NAMM, since The Great Fire. She's a crazy multi-instrumentalist. I'd say acrobatist, too, just looking at some of your show videos. She's insane.
I paid her to say this.
She did. Handsomely. She's a record label owner, producer. She can literally do it all. But today we are going to be talking about AI music and how crazy it is. I will be taking the stance as an AI pessimist, and she will be taking the stance as an AI optimist. And we'll see what we can learn and see if we can change some minds. I'm super curious to hear your perspective. So, without further ado, Chloe, do you want to talk about yourself a little bit? I mean, I hyped you up, but I feel like, I just skimmed the surface. Tell me your background in music and I guess, how do you feel about AI music?
First of all, Mickey, I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart because you accepted my plea. I paid her big money to say everything she just said. And thank you. So it meets the world. That was quite the introduction.
It was so worth the bag.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. No problem. I'm a legend. And even if y'all don't think so, I think so. Second of all, oh yeah, AI music. Yeah, huge supporter.
Huge pessimist. Have you fucked around with Suno at all?
Yeah, I think it's a dream come true. I think that, my whole life I've played games with different friends. We're in the van, we're on tour. Imagine, would you rather be able to create any song at any moment that was in your head or fly? And most people choose any song that you can create at any moment. And we're there now with technology. So is it scary? Sure. Is it exciting? Yes.
It is certainly exciting. I think for me, I haven't messed around with Suno yet, but I still work a lot in animation. And so far, you go to these conferences and you have these AI companies saying, hey, we can do sound design for your whole animated movie or your whole 52 episode series just like that. And show examples where, it can just be done instantly. And I feel like so much of the magic of making art is the human element. It might be more expensive and time consuming, but it's the little accidents that happen when you're collaborating that can really give something sparkle. And I feel right now that a lot of the work I'm getting, in the audio space, is me being asked to voice match an AI bot, and I feel like I'm just watching my death slowly, and I'm just watching this work disappear. So how do you feel about the economy around AI?
If you're not familiar with creating and collaborating with AI, I think there's this common misconception that the AI is prompted by itself. There's always a creator behind the song or video that you see in an AI format. I think as far as human touch, I collaborate with the AI, and I've yet to meet somebody who's creating with AI that is not collaborating with it and using their own unique prompting and voice with their final output.
Mm-hmm. Do you feel like it's stealing, though?
I think all art is stealing. I think nothing is our own. I think if you're in a writing session, we're lucky if we get melodies in the room. So we have to grab hold of whoever is harnessing those melodies and praise them in that moment, because none of these ideas are our own. Everything is regurgitated. Everything is recycled. So it's all about curation, I guess. How are you going to roll it out? What are you going to post? What's the edit like? You know what I mean?
From your experience, tell me, I guess, how you've incorporated AI into your work. And I know your partner also is heavily in the AI space. So,
yeah.
How have you integrated it into your life?
All right, Mickey. So my year-end wrap with ChatGPT, showed that I was at the top 1% of users. Okay, so that's who you're talking to right now. We've been around the world together. I think the most liberating feeling I had with AI was feeling like it was a personal assistant in terms of organizing my work and helping me with tasks. And it can do everything from create images to create documents, and it has a lot of information. So like to be able to collaborate with a robot like that is fun. You know what I mean? So that kind of got me on a manic high about a couple months ago. That calmed down after a couple months. I was using it personally a lot. My own personal struggles that I would share with the robot. And then I realized just how like you would use social media and you realize you're not creating, you're only consuming. I realized I got to cut this struggle talk because I'm just in my own sorrows. And now I'm using it casually a lot less, but I'm looking forward to the next moment to use it creatively always.
How do you feel about the environmental impacts?
I'm not an expert. I'm not a scientist. But from what I understand, isn't there the same amount of water in the whole world all the time? It's just recycled. Tell me what you think, because I know they have to like pour a ton of water on the machines.
I think the issue, from what I understand, is that we're using fresh water, and there's a finite amount of fresh water, and to cool these data centers, it's not clean water after that. It's
like when I put my phone in the freezer.
Exactly.
Yeah, it heats up.
Yeah. So these supercomputers are heating up, but they're using fresh water. Like I think in Austin or in Texas, I think they're projected to use, I'll confirm this in editing, but like 15 to like 20% of our fresh water, and we're in a very water sensitive area. So so once this water is used in these, like it's not just water cooling it, it's coolants, it's heavy metals. So like this water isn't consumable, not even for farmland after. So we're using a lot of fresh water because you're just hooking up to the city, and that also puts a lot of pressure on the cities, the residents, because our water bills go up. We're subsidizing these AI companies, and our electricity consumption, our bills are going up without really a say. And I think that worries me, and I think a lot of pessimists would worry that it's great that we can make all this art, but we might, it's not going to matter if we don't have any water.
Well, to be honest, Mickey,
he gets
feisty.
Yeah, he'll get he's very passionate about this too, as you can see.
I'm going to truly defer to you on this one as far as the environmental impact, because I don't know enough. As far as music goes with Suno, and like it's moving so fast, I feel like it's just more of a challenge to prove to myself that I'm a deeper artist than just music. It kind of, I feel like AI in terms of art, it almost levels the playing field. So I've been messing around with images a lot, and I've never been an images person necessarily. Like every time there's a flyer that I need to make, I'm like, oh no, what am I gonna do? And now I feel like I have a tool that I can have fun with and actually create something that I'm proud of. It makes me feel like I can express myself more fully as an artist.
On that front, do you think that having this godlike power of being able to conjure images and videos and all of this media, is it hindering your collaboration at all? Like
with people?
With people.
No, because I feel like it's still such a touchy and controversial subject in a way. And also, I mean, there's nothing like the human connection, Mickey, as we all know. So that will never change. So however, I mean, I'm curious in the future. I always want to use technology the best way I can with the music that I make. So I think some producers that I know are much better than that at that, and I love to know how they're incorporating AI into what we're doing. But I don't know, because with my with the production company and record label, me and the one of my partners at the label, when we're meeting, ChatGPT is like a third person. So it's like a third opinion in the conversation. And as we're planning, and that's been helpful. Sometimes we realize it actually slows things down. But from a business standpoint, it's been a helpful third opinion going to AI.
I mean, I can definitely see like how it can take work, like some of the more like administrative labor. It can definitely relieve that. From a music perspective, one of the gigs that I do quite regularly is I will voice match, and I'll do like sound-alikes for EDM artists.
Oh, that's cool.
And I feel like right now, you know, it's a hot button subject. Like I'm essentially a way to so that they can release these remixes without licensing the official audio.
Yeah.
In a sense, I feel like me doing that is like sounds gross. No. It's like flesh AI. Like I'm human AI.
Yeah.
Essentially recreating
cloning your
this.
voice.
Cloning.
I find this, and most of my producer friends are doing this.
So cloning a voice, but I feel like eventually, what I worry about, and like this is like a pretty substantial income stream for me, and I worry that like it's just waiting for it to essentially be like for that work for it to be acceptable, and singers won't be needed. Like
I think this is responding to this to what you're saying right now, but I think overall, to see any idea or song to its completion, it takes inspiration. You know, it takes getting up that day and completing it. I think that if you just really think about your next task as an artist and what you need to get done to get to where you want to be, let's just like solo it on you or the producer. Like, it takes inspiration to get up every day, whether you're using AI or not, to complete it. You know?
Yeah.
And I guess that's my point when it comes to AI, is like, it's not going to fix anyone's motivation problem or issue when it comes to completing their art project.
What do you think about like just the sheer volume of AI content that is entering, you know, the DSPs and the streaming services? You know, you have AI artists that are now like on Billboard top 10. You know, they're taking space from, I mean, granted, they might be prompted by humans, but they are making an already very crowded space even more crowded. Do you feel like there should be any gatekeeping with this, or do you think that it's fair to compete?
I feel like there's always been a wide gap between the art and music that cuts through and all of the rest, you know? And I also always like to narrow it into your inner circle. So think about the people that you know that are using AI and that are releasing music or art with AI. Is it shit content? Would you call it shit content? Like,
you can't tell.
You can't tell, but I mean, it's like when I really think about people who are releasing their art and maybe using AI, as a human, I'm like, good for them. It looks like they put some work into that. It doesn't look like slop. So I don't really see personally a lot of slop that I know of. So I think this like fairy tale slop, where is it? Who do you know that makes this fairy tale slop?
I can't tell, and that's what scares me.
So it's like a fear. It's, you know, it's like that. But the gap, there's always been the huge gap between the largely streamed songs and the non. I mean, I think this idea of feeling so small when it comes to internet is something we can all relate to, regardless of AI. So it's this idea that because there's more slop in the world, which of course there will be, our art is going to be even smaller and smaller and smaller. But I've been doing this really strange thing, actually. I just started doing this. When I'm on TikTok, okay, and I see a random TikTok, usually someone talking shit, because everyone loves to talk shit on TikTok. Someone talking shit. I'll now really research this person. Who is this person?
Yeah.
Do they really, what is their Instagram following? What is their, and this is not even from a scouting perspective. I'm not comparing myself. I'm just like, what's their deal, And like, what, do a little research on them and then figure it out. They may be the biggest influencer in their town around the world.
Yeah.
So it's like, I don't know. Does this make sense?
Yeah.
You got to put things in perspective because it's really easy to feel small on the internet. But a little research will go a long way.
Yeah, for sure. And I guess you can, as a consumer, make the decision on, like, I guess, if ethics are important to, or your version of ethics, if having AI removed from what you consume, I guess the responsibility is on the consumer.
I feel like most people who are anti-AI, they're like people with their feet in the water. They're like, I hate AI. I hate the pool. But their feet are all up in that water. You know what I mean? They're using it in so many ways. It's inescapable almost, It's like it's being shoved upon us. So I don't know. It's interesting, Mickey.
So I was talking to a songwriter and producer friend of mine, and I was asking him, he's been in the game for like 20 years. Like he's a veteran at this point. I was asking him, like, hey, what do you think about it? Are you using it? Like, what's temp check on the industry and, like, your peers and what you're doing? He's like, everyone's using it. Everyone is using it. And if they say they aren't using it, they're using it. And they and it's the consensus is, like, if you don't learn how to incorporate it, you're going to be left behind.
Yeah.
So as a producer and as a label owner and a businesswoman, are you incorporating it into your catalog? How outside of, like, helping, I guess, how do you use it to help finish a project or get an idea out? How much has it integrated into your pipeline?
It varies in the sense that I'm using it to literally create new characters and create their music all with AI. I did that during Christmas break, an artist called Mermaid Girl. And then it ranges from Mermaid Girl to creating PDF day sheets for the tour, I think when it comes to sessions, I've noticed not a lot of artists want to use AI in the session. They're not. They don't want to use chat for lyrics, and they don't want to use AI in the music making, and I think it slows things down. So I think we'll get to a point where it's easily incorporated quickly into the session.
With how it's expedited the process and the pipeline and the sheer volume you're able to export and create, how do you think it's going to change the way we consume music? We have albums, we have EPs, but now you can make 20 demos in one day, and it sound completely produced. Do you think it's going to change the format of how we consume music?
People need some sort of structure to finish their idea. This has been a common concept, a common theme. But so, like, for instance, in skateboarding, they have like their skateboarding part, and they stack a bunch of clips, and then they release it. And I asked my husband, why don't they just release the clips on Instagram and blow up and go viral? And he's like, well, that's not how you do it, because you need to finish your whole skate part and then release it. So I don't know. I think like I was saying, I think in each field there's these structural milestones that from the outside don't really make sense in this day and age, but I think are going to remain to help keep people on track. So I think it's more about personal motivation, completions, hope, this idea that I'm going to finish a album, a project. I think as a producer, I noticed that it's something artists seem to need almost to keep going, because we don't know what show we're going to get booked at or who is going to want to work with us. So all we can focus on is finishing something. And that's often 5 or 6 songs instead of just one, So I don't know. I always struggle with this as an artist in general of, like, do I just shit post, see what happens, or do I save it and add it to the project? That's like the big question always.
I can definitely relate to that. I have you know, you see some creators, some artists that are like, they're writing little demos, like their content is writing the demos every single day, and like putting out just these little bits and letting the universe decide whether they finish these songs or not. And then you have so many different industry perspectives saying like, no, don't put your demo. Like, you
There's
need
so many
to,
perspectives.
like, and it can be very confusing, and it's hard to tell what to care
I think
about.
notice I'm just using skateboarding as an example because I'm so not a real skateboarder in any way,
That's
shape, or form.
That's how I discovered her.
Yeah,
I saw her like
No way.
crash. Yeah, it was it was
awesome.
a sick video. Yeah, you were like skateboarding and then like you just ate
Thank you.
shit.
I mean, I feel like the way I approach my quote unquote skateboarding is how I would like to approach all my art, which and how I interact with it online and how I promote it, which is a playfulness, a sense of the moment, and you know, it did well for my skateboarding. I wish I could just like tack that on to all my music stuff, but I don't know. I don't know if you have worked with anyone who has never made music before or they're new to being in the studio. A lot of times if they're an influencer and they have good taste and they come into a studio, they get great content out of the day because they're thinking of it from a totally different perspective than
a purist.
an old hoagie like us.
Yes.
I don't know why I said hoagie. That's like a sandwich. old veteran. These old studio
hags,
vets.
the old studio gals. Thank you so much, Chloe. It's so fascinating to know your perspective. I still am a pessimist, but I feel a little bit better hearing your side. Barely.
Thank you.
Barely.
This was iconic.
Thank you.
I think we going viral. And if not,
yeah.
all you 60 people, thank you.
Yes. You were watching Mick at Night. Be sure to subscribe. Bye, dweebs.